Wondering where the winter went? Coming up on New England Ski Journal, we venture to the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont, where we found all the snow, plenty of water, and much more at Jay Peak. As people around here know, the annual snowfall in New England can vary greatly from year to year. But there's one area where the weather is pretty consistent every winter, and that's in northern Vermont. A great vacation spot any time of year, Jay Peak has become a destination for those wanting to continue winter fun well into the spring.
In an era where folks seem to be getting less snow and less harsh weather in the winter, this is a place that can still provide that. So there's something about that access to extreme weather and at the same time having access to a bunch of indoor facilities that families love. Being able to have those two polar opposites in one vacation, that's an awful appealing environment to help bring the family together. Even if it only lasts for 2 or 3 days, Jay Peak can be the perfect backdrop for something like that.
It is kind of just like this weird frontier that we live in, and it's not easy to be here. We choose to be up here and we choose to be challenged, and it shows when you meet people here.
Many ski areas feel that they are unique and that they are set apart from everybody else. Jay Peak is unique. The shape of our mountain is not typical, and previous owners took advantage of that.
When resorts back in the mid-'80s were starting to develop amenities, Jay Peak had no funding to do that. So where we turned our attention was what we could do and what we did have, and those were saws and people. So we went into the woods and started cutting gladed runs. And within 10 to 15 years, Jay had the best glade network in New England.
I can feel the fire that lives inside my bones. There's a desire in my soul.
We're a resort that oftentimes is looked at through the lens of being very difficult, very aggressive. You know, we've got extreme terrain, we get a lot of extreme weather, and we get a ton of snow. So winter here really still feels like winter here.
The mountain has many faces to it. From the beginner terrain and the intermediate terrain, there's glades connecting all of those.
Total lifts, we have 9. There's 2 magic carpets, 1 triple chair, a double chair, 3 fixed grip quads, a detached quad, and obviously the aerial tram. Everybody has to ride the tram.
In my life, so I'll be alright.
The ridge itself, if you're willing to get up there and go explore, it looks a little daunting, but when that snow fills in, there's some amazing runs up there. Looking down over the ridge, you're kind of like, I don't know if I can do that. And then you drop into it and you're going down like a 50-degree pitch and you're making some fast decisions.
I can feel the fire that lives inside my bones. There's a desire in my soul.
You will be humbled. There are tight chutes and the snow packs in deep up there.
Together we are strong.
You could pop into a glade on one side of the mountain, take a random cut all the way to the other side and pop out somewhere else.
Those folks who like to come up and ride bell to bell, there's probably no better resort in New England to do that at, to have that feeling of peace and quiet than Jay Peak, just given the index of gladed terrain that we have here. You forget pretty quickly about anything else here at the resort, and it's pretty much just you and the mountain at that point.
I can feel the fire that lives inside my bones. There's a
We have a lot of marked glades, but there's a lot of unmarked woods. Drop in.
we can live higher. Together we are strong. We are here to shine like a red starlight.
We've got awesome skiing, and it's as good as it could possibly be for a New England ski area. And we ski right into the first week of May, pretty much every year.
When we come back on New England Ski Journal, we'll have a look at some of the places where you can stay at Jay Peak, as well as its fun restaurants and bars.
Hello everyone, Ray Stenson here from Country Ski and Sport. We've talked about boots, skis, helmets, goggles. What's next, and real important, accessories. This is one of my favorite accessories. It's the heated sock from Lens. This sock utilizes Bluetooth technology to adjust the temperature. Not only can you use this on the mountain, but you can bring it to the hockey rink or walk the dog. This is the hood from Blackstrap, a key accessory every skiing rider must have in their bag. When the weather gets tough, this 4-way stretch, wind-resistant, goggle-safe material will keep you warm, and it comes in a variety of colors. And of course, gloves. This is one of my favorite gloves. It's made by Hestra. This glove is going to keep your hand warm and dry on the slopes all day long. It has a Gore-Tex outer layer to keep the water out and a nice insulated inner layer. Nobody likes cold hands. Get yourself a pair of warm gloves. And of course, your Country Ski and Sport hat. You can grab this as well as all of your accessories at the closest Country Ski and Sport location.
We are spending time way up on the Canadian border in Vermont at Jay Peak.
We get a ton of snow. It's just something that Jay Peak has always been known for. North of 350, 400 inches a year.
There are many reasons attributed as to why Jay Peak gets so much snow. Locals will tell you it is because of a weather phenomenon called the Jay Cloud.
When the weather forecast says we're going to get 3 inches of snow, we're probably going to get 6 to 8, just because the Jay Cloud hangs out here. And what that Jay Cloud is all about is when you go to the summit of Jay and you look to the northwest, which is where most of our weather comes from, there's nothing to stop the weather from getting here. Jay Peak is the first high terrain from here to, I don't know where, a long ways away. So as the northwest trade winds come in and bring weather and moisture with them, when it gets to Jay, the air rises and it creates snow. And that just happens here day after day.
The weather can drop to extreme low temperatures here at times, so Jay provides plenty of places where you can warm up, starting with their 2 base lodge areas.
One of the things that people are surprised when they come up to this campus really is how self-contained we are. When I started here in 2004, we were a single hotel, a pizzeria, and a seasonal restaurant. And now that, over the course of 15 or 16 years, has grown into what we are now, which is 3 different hotels, 900 rooms, a water park, a climbing center, a golf course, about 15 different places to eat. We're more into a phase of our growth here now where we're trying to perfect the experience and trying to round off the small corners, trying to put a lot of weight against the small details that we think make a big difference in a guest vacation.
At the Hotel J, we have 27 different room types. They range from just a basic hotel room to 1 to 2 bedroom suites, which will all have full kitchens, a separate living space for you. And then here at the Trim House Lodge, we have a little over 50 rooms. Each room will have a kitchen and a separate living space from the bedroom. At the Stateside Hotel, it would be just basic rooms, some of them with king beds, some of them with 2 queen beds, and a microwave and a coffee maker, just for those people that are eager to hit the slopes in the morning.
Any family coming here for lessons, if they come to Stateside, everything's right here. We have a daycare, we have the Mountain Kids Adventure Center, and then at the bottom of the Stateside Lodge is where the adult lessons are. Even the seasonal programs, for the most part, are based out of Stateside, so that makes everything really close. The rental shop's right here. Super easy to get from point A to point B pretty quick.
If you are looking for something different than a hotel, we have lots of different options as well. We have multiple different properties of condos. We have the Golf and Mountain condos as well as the Lodge and Townhomes. We also have units that are privately owned in our rental pool. They range anywhere from 1 bedrooms to 5 bedrooms.
All the food and drinks you could possibly want are right there at the base of the mountain as well.
At the Hotel J, we have the Foundry Pub and Grill. The Provisions General Store has a nice deli inside. They have a beer cave in there. You don't have to go far to get your beer and wine fix. Mountain Dick's Pizza has a great selection of pizzas, subs, spaghetti. Alice's Table, located in the Tram House Lodge, is a beautiful wide open space. They have a lovely breakfast, lunch, and dinner menu. The Tower Bar is a great place for some après drinks and maybe get a bite to eat. Howie's Diner, located at the Stateside Hotel, has a beautiful view of the mountain as well as a excellent breakfast menu. There's also the Bull Wheel, which is over at the Stateside Hotel. Again, a great location for après drinks and music.
Every Saturday throughout the winter, we have live music from 4 to 7, usually local regional acts that just absolutely crush it. Big mixture of everything.
And speaking of everything, they have it all at their gigantic indoor water park. We'll take a look at that next when New England Ski Journal returns.
Hey, welcome to the Brew Minute. We're here at the Woodstock Station in North Woodstock, New Hampshire. My name's Adam, I'm one of the brewers here. Today we're talking about our oatmeal stout. It's poured on nitro in-house, so you get that rich nitro velvety mouthfeel, and it's backed up with a nice malty backbone with some real coffee, roasty, chocolatey notes. It's a perfect breakfast beer to pair with the Peasant's Pride breakfast off of our breakfast menu. If you're coming up for a ski weekend, come in, have some breakfast, have a pint, fuel up, and then hit the slopes. Cheers.
Jay Peak's history goes back to the 1950s, but it's been in the last 2 decades that they have really invested in the amenities to draw people from all over.
If you are a ski resort in New England and all you do is provide a couple of lifts, some trails, and you cross your fingers about natural snow to help support the experience, given what the competition is doing, there's a high likelihood that you won't be doing that particularly long. And we figured that out 10 or 12 years ago, that we needed to round out that experience, but it couldn't be at the expense of what is essentially the soul of this place, which is skiing and snowboarding and keeping your focus on that.
We found a place that was originally designed to be an alternative activity on those super cold days, but has now become a destination all year round.
The water park is attached to the Hotel J. Anybody who's staying in the Tram House Lodge or the Hotel J has direct access to the water park. You can head right over there in your swimsuit and robe and never have to worry about walking outside.
The first thing at the water park that grabs your attention are those great big slides.
Most groups we have, they go straight for the red slide, and they're usually scared the first time going on it, but they always come back up for more. It's about a 40, maybe 50-foot drop, and then goes into a loop, and that goes into the other slides too. We have the green, blue, and the orange slide. Two of them, the orange and the blue slide, are single riders only. The green slide you can take double tubes on, go with 2 people. We got a wave pool on the other side. There's water that comes shooting out at you. There's a waterfall you go under. It's a favorite.
Another popular attraction is something called the Flow Rider.
When you first start out, you can expect to fall pretty quickly. The people who last the longest on the stand-up part of the flow rider, the surfing, is usually people who either skate or they snowboard up on the mountain. The foot placement and how you maneuver on the board is pretty similar to snowboarding.
There's now a small surfing community at JP.
Having a giant indoor water park really differentiates JP. We're the only ski resort in New England that has such a thing. But what we quickly noticed within about a year of opening the park was there's a whole cohort of people out there that are only water park aficionados. So they started coming up to Jay Peak by virtue of just the pump house, having never heard of Jay Peak, not necessarily caring at all about skiing. And what we soon realized was the water park could be a conversion tool to bring them in the world of snow sports.
And then there's also a boogie board that you can do. You lay down on it and it's a lot easier. You don't fall. You can just move over to the side and step off. If you don't meet the height requirements, we have the mill pond. There's a big bucket that fills up with water and dumps on you. There's 4 slides and there's a bunch of fun things to like twist and turn, and you can make water come out of different spouts.
The water park picks up when the mountain closes at 4 p.m., as do many other activities.
We are currently in the Clips and Reels building. Our building has a climbing gym, it has a huge arcade, we have a ropes course that's suspended from the ceiling, and we also have a movie theater.
A lot of our stuff is active based, it's action. It's climbing, it's swimming, it's surfing. If they don't want to do everything, you don't have to do everything. And we don't necessarily need you to stay at the resort the whole time. Go out and explore the area. There's so much beauty around here.
Stay right here for more from Jay Peak on New England Ski Journal. Welcome back to New England Ski Journal at Jay Peak in northern Vermont. It takes a lot to live in such a remote place year-round, but the employees love the resort's unique vibe.
All of the kind of assets, as we call them, about Jay Peak, the snow, the tram, the gladed terrain that we have set Jay Peak apart. But for me, personally, it's the culture that exists here.
Jay is unique in the sense that people come here and they feel something that they've never felt before at any other resort that they've ever stayed at.
It's really cold in the winter, and the climate at Jay can be windy, and everyone just is always there for each other and always looking for adventures together. It's just something that you don't usually see at a normal resort, and it makes all the difference.
If you have to sum up Jay Peak in one word, for me that's always, we're a bit tilted. Whether it's the amount of snow or the wind that we get, it kind of skews you in a certain direction, and not everybody is into that. You kind of self-select up here, and what brings you up here is that snow and the camaraderie of the cold that can come, and being out there.
You'll see locals interacting with people that they've never spoke with before, and just getting down, exchanging phone numbers, going out to dinner later on. And they, become lifelong friends.
I started working here at 16, so these people have become my family, and I've been here half my life. And the amount of characters that I know that are my friends, it's hard to count because there's so many, but it's like the island of misfit toys. We all end up here, and we're all perfect for each other.
We are an integral part of the Northeast Kingdom. The Northeast Kingdom of Vermont is pretty unique. The employees that are here, many of them have been here their whole life. Second and third generations. That creates a kind of a unity or a tradition. When people come here to live here and establish a career, they don't come here just for the job. You got to come here because you want to live in this part of the world. Those are the folks that make up J-Peak now. But senior management has made a concerted effort, which has been successful, to make it work really well. That is the reason why our guests really like the way they get treated here.
In terms of where we go as a business, I think a lot of how that is driven will be predicated on who the ultimate purchaser of the resort is. But I think that whoever buys this place will not only move the brand towards complete vacation experiences, but we'll also try to leverage the strength of the relationship that we have with our staff and that culture.
Living up here, the mountain as our home, and being able to share that, this giant adult and kid playground with each other, I think keeps us all fresh and young and happy. I think we have this place that we get to share these moments with, and I think that creates really strong bonds and will keep for a lifetime.
J-Peak is about a 4-hour drive from Boston and 90 minutes from Montreal, but no matter what the distance, you won't be disappointed with the destination. Go to jpeakresort.com for more info. See you next time on New England Ski Journal.